Okay, so we're going to work on making our masks or our selection sets. It's really the same thing. So I'm going to turn off my lines, my shade and shadows, and even my base images. All I want to deal with are my masks. We're going to turn one on at a time. And so if you remember way back when we created these colors, and I was talking about wanting to make them just super vibrant, easy to select, using the magic wand tool, I'm going to come in here and just select anywhere on that purple, and then I can go to image, or excuse me, select, and select similar. And you can see I now have all of that purple selected, and I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm going to call it frame mask, and setting my colors back to their default. I'm going to use Alt Backspace to color this all in black, and as you can see, really all that's doing is it's just giving me a selection set. We're not going to use this. The color really doesn't matter. What's nice now is with this set, I can come in here and press and hold Control and then click on the image here, and you can see it automatically selects all my window frames. And we're going to be able to do that for everything that's going on down here. So let me turn this off, including this one is for my grass. So again, I'm going to select the purple, select similar. I'm going to make a new layer. We're going to call this grass mask, and I'm going to Alt Backspace to fill that in, and turn these off and go to the next one, and make sure we're on the right layer, and then repeating the process. It's going to go select similar. One of the things to keep in mind is this tolerance. The higher the tolerance, the more likely you're going to be able to gather all the colors that you want, but also the higher tolerance, you're going to maybe get some inadvertent stuff. A tolerance between 30 and 40 is good, especially if we're keeping colors that are super different from anything else in here, which these purples are, so 40 is probably okay. And one thing to note, because of the way shading works, the other side of the stone is not being selected because it's a slightly different tone, but that's okay. That's what we're making our selection sets for, and we're going to fix that in just a second. So I'm going to call this one Stone Mask, and I'm going to Alt Backspace and color that in black, and then I'm going to come back to my stone and select this side of it and do the same thing of select similar, and come back to my Stone Mask and Alt Backspace, and now you can see that all of my stone is selected. So we're going to turn that off. We're going to come to vegetation. This one's probably going to have the same effect, in that we're going to have to select, do several selections, just because again the tones are slightly different, but that's okay. So we'll come here to our layer 1, and we're going to call this vegetation mask, and we're going to, whoops, I forgot to do my select similar, and you can see it's selecting most of what we wanted, which is good. So we'll go to vegetation mask, fill that in, and so then we're just going to kind of keep doing this on all the different purples that we see until we no longer see purple. Vegetation mask, go, maybe we'll zoom in here a little bit, and I'm going to grab, make sure on the right layer, grab this, select similar, come back to our vegetation mask, back down to vegetation. And again, I know this is fairly tedious, and really the vegetation one's always going to be the hardest, but it's definitely going to be worth it in the long run. It's really going to make a lot of things much easier. And you can get into really fine detail if you want to. I don't know if it's ever going to be that necessary to be hyper careful on some of this stuff. So it's really up to you of just what you think you're going to need and whatnot. But you can see it's still a fairly quick and easy process. Especially, you can see it's pretty easy to find where colors are that you're missing. I think that should be good, but maybe we'll come in here and just do these just a little bit more. Select similar, and always making sure we're on the right layer. And maybe this will be the last one. Select similar, and there we go. I think we're good. And so we can turn that off, and we're going to go to our windows. This is again, right layer. This is our window mask. Select similar, make a new layer, call this window glass mask, and add that, turn that off, and then our wood. You can see a wood we'll probably have to do two, because there's this brighter purple and more bluish purple. Should be the last layer we need to make. We'll rename it wood mask, and you'll see as we're going through the process why this will be such a valuable tool for us, because it's really going to make editing a lot of what we do much easier, and be able to really refine some things. You can actually see that there's some wood that's going on behind this glass. We might even want to be able to get that, but maybe not, because it's really, if we mask things out, it might mask it out differently. So we're going to go ahead and leave it right now. We can always even come back, because really what I want to do is, again, these are all my original kind of color mask setups, and so I'm just going to group those. Again, just in case we ever want to come back and add to the mask layer or whatever. So we can leave all these on, and yeah, so there you have it. So so you can see if I wanted to say adjust the wood, maybe the wood's just a little too dark. You can see I can come in here just quickly, again, control clicking on wood mask, and make sure I'm on my base layer here. And again, this is why I made a copy of my base layer, because I can adjust this. I can come in here and I go to image adjustments. Maybe we'll start with some levels, and maybe brighten this up a little bit. The high tones and the mid tones. Maybe darken the upper tones up. Whatever it is, you can see that we're. In fact, let me do it extremely. You can see we're only editing the wood because that's all we have selected. That's kind of what's great about this, is we can really refine what it is we want to adjust. Yeah, so we'll get more into the adjustments in the next video, but I just want to show how to set up the masks and what makes them important. So we will go to the next video and start using these masks, adding in some skies and all that good kind of stuff.